Pence is back in Washington following talks with Iran over the 60-day ceasefire. He says progress was made on discussions, including a promise to keep the Strait of Hormuz open. Here's ABC's Justin Fischel in Washington.
President Trump said basically this squeezing of the strait is working. Economically, we can't do this anymore. He said, I don't want to be known as the Herbert Hoover presidency. Herbert Hoover was the Great Depression. Trump is saying, without saying it directly, the economic pressure is working. He wanted a way out and he wanted a deal.
Iran also saying it will allow nuclear inspectors back into the country in exchange for a sanctions waiver on the sale of Iranian oil. Here's ABC security consultant Colonel Steve Ganyard.
It'll pump billions and billions of dollars into this Iranian regime that we don't know what its future looks like. We don't know, are they really going to come in and join the world community, or are they going to be the same old Iran that we had before, feeding their proxies to sow dissent around the world?
The Pentagon is readying to ask Congress for roughly $80 billion to cover the cost of the war. President Trump today heading to Pennsylvania, where he will visit a Mack truck facility near Allentown. There's a red alert over much of France as millions of people there and across Europe swelter through a major heat wave. Paris expected it at 100 degrees for the next 4 days. A driver in Houston says his car made him do it, but Tesla's disputing the man's account, blaming autopilot for a deadly crash.
Investigators say 44-year-old Michael Butler has told them that his Tesla Model 3 was in self-driving mode when it accelerated down a suburban street and crashed into a house, killing the 76-year-old woman inside. Tesla's vice president of autopilot posted on X that Butler had manually overridden the self-driving mode and had accelerated to 73 miles per hour before the accident.
ABC's Jim Ryan in Dallas. Primaries today in New York, South Carolina, Utah, and Maryland. You're listening to ABC News.
Look who has extra pep in their step.
Well, I just finished my to-do list. Gas tank is full, tonight's dinner plans are set, grocery shopping is complete, and I even got everything for those barbecues and pool parties we have planned. You know what's even better?
What?
Every one of those stops gets me a bit of money back.
How are you doing that?
By using Upside.
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app where I earn cash back on gas, groceries, and dining out. They even gave me a cashback bonus on my first grocery trip.
So that extra pep comes from all that cash back. Looks like I need to download Upside.
You really do.
Earn cash back on errands and everyday essentials. Download Upside and use promo code BIG5 to earn an extra $5 cash back on your first purchase at one of over 100,000 available locations. That's promo code BIG5 for an extra $5 cash back. Remember, use promo code BIG5.
Offers vary by user and location at participating merchants. Go to upside.com.
News this hour brought to you by Frederick Sales and Service in Brandon and Skag Zero Turn Mowers and Products. Simply the best.
The flooding in Mississippi, and that could be aggravated with more rain possible today. A 50% chance with a high at 89. Tonight, the rain chance is 40% with a low at 73. And Wednesday, the rain chance is up to 70% again with a high at 89. It slacks off Thursday, and you may get a chance to dry out Friday. With the news on 103.9 WYAB, I'm Chris Davis. In an update from Governor Reeves and MEMA Monday, Reeves says so far 7 homes have been reported destroyed from flooding, with 9 more with major damage, and that several rivers in central Mississippi are at minor flood stage, including the Big Black at Bentonia and the Pearl at both Philadelphia and in Jackson. And the flooding has caused the temporary closure of LaFleur's Bluff State Park, says the Mississippi Department of Wildlife, Fisheries, and Parks. And they say the flooding has caused some unsafe conditions, and they realize that'll mean some cancellations because of events planned at the park, and they are working to get it back open, dependent, though, on the weather. Adults will have a tougher time interacting with kids, and the kids will have a tougher time staying on the game for a long time, and an agreement reached between Roblox and the state of Mississippi, says Attorney General Lynn Fitch. The agreement requires age verification and parental consent for the kids to play. Technical difficulties Monday afternoon for 911 in the city of Jackson proper. The Jackson Police Department was blaming that on the weather and asking people to call the non-emergency number. Gas prices went up a few cents Monday, and the average price for a gallon of regular in Mississippi is at $3.51 after being down as low as $3.43, says Gas Buddy. The national average for a gallon of regular was back up to $3.88 per gallon. More news in 1 hour on 103.9 WYAB. I'm Chris Davis.
Teaching from God's Word for your life.
How would you like to be set free today? Man, I would. I want to walk in the freedom that Jesus purchased. purchased for me. I don't want to live simply holding a ticket to heaven. I want a heaven right here on earth. God wants to do a work in your life. He wants to set you free today. He wants to do a work to take you out of the prison. Are you ready to feel the shaking of the prison? Are you ready to see the shackles fall? Are you ready to see that prison door open? I promise you, if you'll start praising God right in the middle of it, I'm telling you, God will do a work. You say, but I don't feel like it. Don't wait till you feel like it. Let your feelings follow. I promise you, start praising Him, and then you'll start feeling like it. It just happens that way. They're not good leaders, but the feelings are great followers. Man, let your faith lead out.
For more teaching from David Jett, visit crossgates.org.
The views and opinions expressed in this program are the individual views and opinions of the people expressing them and do not necessarily reflect those of this radio station, its parent, affiliated, or related entities, agents, or employees.
Welcome to the Chip Matthews Show, where politics meets the South. So grab your sweet tea, find a comfortable spot to sit back, and let's embark on this journey together. Chip away, yes, chip away. That's what I wanna do. Sweet little mama, I wanna get next to you.
And good Tuesday morning. It is the Chip Matthews Show right here on WIAB. Oh, my brother just sent me a text saying, behave today. Oh, right. Let's see what else is going on in the world today. Good morning to you, Lloyd Travis. Good morning, Andy Devine, Shane Easley, Jeff Thomas. And good morning to all of you listening out in the wonderful world of Radio Land and on the internets and on the interwebs and on the satellites and on the good morning, JC Dunn. And good morning to everybody out there in the extraterrestrial world, because we're all listening. But most importantly, if you're within the sound of my voice, good morning to all you sinners out there. Yes, you sinners. You must be politicians, because that's what you are. You're a sinner if you're a politician, because you compromise your values daily. And everybody's going, Chip, what in the hell are you talking about? Okay, what I'm talking about is something that you really don't know, but you see it creep into your life each and every day. And that's the sinning world of gambling. Okay. Now, gambling is gambling. That's what it is. It occurs. I have worked in the gaming business. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not passing judgment. I have been, I look at the situation and I go, we try to run this entire state of Mississippi on sin taxes. And gambling is one of the sin taxes. We have the lottery, we have casinos, but in the sports betting world, where there was going to be these mobile sports betting, I believe that we've been sold up the river, y'all. I believe that they have figured out a way to buy the politicians to a level that, and they've come up with an angle to get around it. And the politicians just going, well, I got to go to see the Super Bowl. I've been to a few SEC championship games, and I'm just going to lay off and let them do what they do. Because in our life, if we look at, every day you see it now. The casinos pop up on your phone. The casinos pop up on your TV. And these are the ones where you play a game online. It says it's free this time. It's free this time. It's free this time. What it is it's creating a grind. And for those of us who worked behind the scenes in the gaming world, because I was a pit boss at one time, y'all, believe it or not, you see things that the money is made off the grind. The money is not. It says that, let's say, if you play perfect blackjack strategy, let's say, for instance, and let's say you buy in for $100, more than likely in an hour, I'm going to own just $5 of that dollar, depending on if you didn't fall for some of the gaming industries, things like double down and hit on these things, and you're playing perfect strategy. It's still set up to where the casino wins. That's just the way the cards fall, boys and girls. And like on a dice roll, you can get a dice roll and make some money one day, but then the next day it's going to kill you. And that's just the way it is. The casinos, they don't say 100% payback. They say 97% payback on these slot machines. And they don't know if that's 97% today, 97% in an hour, 97% over a month, 97% over the lifetime of the machine. These are all the things that are in gaming to make sure that they have a way to make things happen. Andy Devine, next will be legalized prostitution. Yes, that is coming. But it may have already occurred because basically that's what these politicians are legalized prostitutes who can do and do to you physically, well, mentally and emotionally to you what a prostitute would do to you physically, I guess you could say. Good morning, Cressley Pierce. But when you look at this, I mean, y'all, we live in a world that the sin is okay as long as we get tax dollars off of it. What's wrong? I mean, do you understand what I'm saying? It's okay to sin as long as we get tax dollars off of it to run the state of Mississippi. It's okay. You know? Now, we're all going to sin. That's just the way the world is set up. That's the way we're all put here on this earth, is we're going to sin. But in the subject of sinning, the state of Mississippi constantly says, well, it's okay to sin as long as we can get a tax dollar off of it. We can make a profit off of your rudeness and your thing. And why do they let you out of jail every 5 minutes? Why did the judge system and the whole justice system let you out? Well, sinners are money. And if you're costing me money in jail, I'd rather you be out of jail committing more crimes to where I will have more sinning going on to where I'll have more tax dollars. And you look at that and you say, well, Chip, you're crazy. Well, there's a tax on crazy too. There's a tax on everything out there. And when you look at it from that viewpoint, you got to go, what the hell's going on? What are we allowing to take place in our world? You know, you've got Democrats blaming gun violence on guns when it's clearly should be on the face of a Democrat. Good morning, Chris Lofton. I mean, the Democrat is the person running around with a gun killing people. Okay? There are Republicans that do it, but Republicans have, respect for guns and what they can do. And then you got these lawyers like Ben Crump up there showing up in Senatobia. We're going to take an autopsy on the body, and we're going to prove that they were shooting from the side. Well, you don't know how that mama was holding that baby in that car. Those officers were justified in what they did. A crime was being committed at the time, and then another crime was being committed when they were trying to flee the scene. Okay, so you got multiple crimes and going on, and then it is alleged. We'll say alleged. Don't want Mr. Crump to come see Chippy. It was alleged that the officer, that they were taking aim at running over the officer. Well, that officer has every right to empty that gun at the point in which his life is threatened. Now, what's wrong is that the mother has total disregard for her baby going out to steal. And, and in that, they always say it was diapers or something like that. They're going to make it sound like the oppressed lifestyle that they've had. You'll probably find out that earlier in the day, they had been at the casino and they lost their money. And then they decided they would just steal some diapers on the way home. You never know what all the facts are because they're going to get bent. They're going to get wrapped around. Nobody does what they're supposed to do. And then for all the money that the sin taxes that the state of Mississippi gets out of us, they turn around and give it to these people who go out and commit these crimes. Meanwhile, if you're in the military and you're retired and you're on assistance from the Army, which really it's not assistance, it's being paid for the service in which you did. I don't care if you're retired or you got injured or not. If you're getting a check, thank you for your service. But if you go to jail, the government's going to take your check away from you if you're not a good citizen when you come home after we've taught you how to kill. After we've gone through deprogramming you to where you can live in the world to keep it safe for us, we're going to take your money away if something happens and you happen to do something that we trained you to do, And so you wind up in jail or you wind up not being having trouble in your life. They're going to take your money away. But meanwhile, these welfare recipients and these people around the world that we just got to help and save and help all over the place, we keep giving them money. We'll just hand it to them. They go to jail. We still give them money. We give them, they got kids at home. Well, they should be thinking about the kids they have at home, just like that mother should have been thinking about when she robbed a store with her baby in the car, that there's a chance that she was going to put her baby in harm's way. These are facts. And we live off the sin taxes. The lawyers live off the sins that occur. I mean, they're sitting there, and then whenever you see the TV, you saw the march that took place on the Walmart. That store didn't do anything wrong. No, they didn't do anything wrong, but they got it going on in their parking lot, But it looks good on TV. And you're looking at who are they going to sue? They're going to go after Senatobia. But they're setting up to show we're going to sue the Walmart because it happened in their parking lot. You watch and see. Or Walmart will have a big fundraiser to raise them a whole bunch of money nationwide and give it to them. But it's all the scam. It's all the game. The game is to put the money in the pocket and not worry about the people. And the people have no responsibility for them or their lives. And they dominate my news feed with their crap. That's right, their crap. Never mind, there's a lot of other stuff going on in the world, like the water falling out of the sky. Y'all, that's rain. And maybe it's time. I know God promised no other flood ever again to clean this place up, but hey, a little water wouldn't hurt right now. And it looks like in Mississippi, I guess we're going to clean some of this up because this morning on the way in on the Natchez Trace, and I don't lie to y'all at all, I saw the evolution of deer. Deer are evolving. There were deer on the Natchez Trace this morning who started to have webbed feet. This is how it all happened years and years and years ago, how things evolve. So the deer, in order to survive in Mississippi, are starting to have webbed feet. This comes from the years of flooding, from not having the pumps in the Delta and this, that, and the other, that all the things that need to go on to help us here in America and help us here in Mississippi to survive. And now the deer are adapting on their own to survive by becoming web-foot. Okay. It's what's going on. Y'all know, I would never lie to you. We'll be back with more right here on the Chip Matthews Show on WYAB. It's what's going on. Y'all know, I would never lie to you. We'll be back with more right here.
1039 WYAB.
In the heart of rural America, we know the value of an honest day's work. While the big corporate brands focus on their stock prices, Outlaw Light is focused on you. We're an independent American brand built on resilience. We don't preach or teach, we just brew. That means a high-quality, 105-calorie light beer at a price that respects your hard-earned dollar. For the patriots, the dreamers, and the doers, America deserves a new light beer. Grab an Outlaw. It's darn good beer.
Hi, this is Rita Jensen with Remax Connection. I've been selling real estate now for well over 30 years, and I typically use Chadwick Home Inspectors. And Chad has done many, many home inspections for me.
They are pretty much from roof to foundation. Most people are surprised at just how thorough these home inspections can be. Been working with Rita almost a decade now. Very rarely does she let a deal fall apart. She can usually find a way to negotiate where both parties are satisfied.
RitaJensen.net. Remember when Saturday meant tackling 3 projects before lunch? Now you need a nap after buying the lumber. It doesn't happen all at once. Energy slips away a little at a time. Focus does too. The team at Live Better Men's Health and Wellness helps men get answers to low testosterone, fatigue, weight gain, and more. Because getting older is mandatory. Feeling old is optional. Learn more at livebettermen.com. That's livebettermen.com.
When leaks, clogs, or cold showers slow you down, call on Anglin Plumbing, the plumbing experts who get the job done right the first time. Leaky faucet, sink, or toilet? Need a water heater installed? Call on Anglin Plumbing. You can always trust Anglin's reliable and hardworking technicians. Don't let plumbing headaches ruin your day. Call on Anglin Plumbing Service to get it fixed. And you can be a part of the team. Anglin Plumbing is now hiring. Learn more about Anglin Plumbing at anglinplumbing.com.
Looking for adventure, amazing food, and a little relaxation all in one place? You'll find it at Cypress Point Resort in Brandon. Load up the family and experience a real drive-through safari, petting zoo, and thrilling guided Jeep tours. Then slow it down with mouth-watering steaks at the steakhouse, or grab drinks and live music at the tavern. Planning a wedding or reunion? Cypress Point Resort has beautiful venues and cozy lodging. Ready for your big day or just a weekend escape? It's everything you love about the outdoors with a touch of luxury. Cypress Point Resort. Wild fun right around the corner.
Hello, friends and neighbors. This is David Frederick. I'm here to tell you about the latest development here at Frederick Sales and Service in Brandon. In an effort to always bring you the very best brands, I am proud to announce that Frederick Sales and Service is Central Mississippi's newest dealer for Skag zero-turn mowers and products. We have deals on one of the industry's best brands of zero-turn mowers, Skag. You can buy now and pay later because 0% financing is also available at Frederick's. Come see our inventory. We're here serving you for over 3 decades in Brandon since 1993.
Have you been injured through no fault of your own? Do you know your rights? Don Evans does. Do you really believe that the insurance company would disclose all information to you? Don Evans will make sure that you are fully informed. It costs nothing to discuss your case. From car wrecks to malpractice, Don Evans will make you and your family whole again. Don Evans won't ever charge unless he collects for you. Call Don for a free, no-obligation consultation at 601-969-2006.
Need to ship something fast, print something now, or wrap the perfect gift? Head to the Mailroom Gluckstadt, your one-stop shop for all major shipping carriers. We pack and ship with care, offer private mailbox rentals, copy services, create and print banners, print your photos, lamination, binding, and secure document shredding. We always have a notary available, and we do gift wrapping too. Head to the Mailroom Gluckstadt across from Callaway's or online at mailroomgluckstadt.com. Stop in today and get it all done in one place.
Welcome back to the Chip Matthews Show, and here's your host, Chip Matthews.
It is the Chip Matthews Show, heard around the world and everywhere. Good morning, Vince Warren, who's watching right now on the Facebooks. But anyway, good morning to all of you out there. Micah Goba says politicians have raped the taxpayers and the voters. Well, the taxpayers and the voters are 2 different groups. One, the taxpayers is a large amount of people here in Mississippi. The voters is a small amount of people here in Mississippi. But they're picking and choosing. And basically, you could say that the prostitution of the rape cases by the politicians, they're getting their taxes, so they're paying taxes on the prostitution. It's just that we don't realize that we're all prostitutes for the government to make their money so that they can pay for their babies and all that in the world that are out there taking advantage of the government. I mean, y'all, where in the world does it say that if you don't have a job, I got to pay for you? Okay, I know many of you that don't have jobs. I know many of you that go and get a job and you quit your job within a day or two saying, "Ooh, that's too much hard work." But let's talk about this for just a second. You know, if you're living on government aid and welfare, the whole thing is that's supposed to be a hand up to help you out. It's not go have more babies. It's not go have this, that, and the other to make you have what you have. A lifestyle should not be living off of the money that Benny Thompson provides for you. And Benny Thompson is the problem, but also the Republican rhinos of this state are the other part of the problem because they created the districts that made Benny Thompson that strong. Benny Thompson is up there on behalf of all the rhinos in this state to get us money. I mean, that's why his district is everything on I-55 from Memphis to Macomb, and then 4 other. He's got Attala County, he's got Madison County, he's got Leake County, he's got Montgomery County. I mean, these are all in his district, and they're all there for the sole purpose of making sure that Benny Thompson can stay in office forever because everybody in those areas, they've given up. They've given up on life. They've given up on voting. They've given up on giving a damn about anything going on in the world. If we can beat down more people and make more people believe that the voting system does not work and you can't replace Benny Thompson in office, that is what we're going to do. And then that way, the state of Mississippi, every time we send $1 to Washington, we'll get $2 back. Hell, we may get $2.33 back. I mean, that is what we're up to. We're not up to we're trying to play the game. We're trying to say you got to learn to play the political game and get what you got to get to where we can all have what we want. No. In order for you to have anything in your life, you got to get out and work. You got to get off your butt and do something. There is no sitting at the house whining. There is no Saturday night and I don't feel good. There is no this, that, or the other. That does not occur in the real world of people that work for a living. You got to get out. You got to kill it. Do you realize that all the billionaires in America, started with nothing? And a lot of your people that make it in life started with nothing. They don't inherit their wealth. There's some people that inherit wealth and in 2-3 generations, it's gone. It's gone. I know several families like that. I know several kids that grew up who had everything in their life. And when they got older, they didn't have anything. Once it was all divided up and they broke the magic of what happened to make it all happen, it's gone. You look at the things like, for instance, and you can't doubt it. You can't mislead it. But for instance, we grew up with some great chains in Mississippi when we were growing up, and some great people ran them. But then when the families cashed out, which that is the goal in life, to make your money and cash out and go home. When the families cashed out, it was over. The wealth of those families went away, and those families' wealth was the backbone of your community in some cases. I mean, nobody's done anything wrong when they decide they don't want to work anymore. If you've made enough money to where you could stop, that's kind of what some people do. I, on the other hand, have never made enough money to where I can stop. And number 2, I've gotten to the point now in my life that I understand that I'm going to work until I die. And I would much rather do that than to sit at home and rot. I'd much better, and I know millions of people out there that are injured and hurt and have, need hip replacements or need knee replacements, but they need this, that, and the other. They would love to go work. They would love to get out because part of life is getting out and mingling with the people and being out in public and seeing people and saying hello and good morning and going out and eating and going out and having money in your pocket to do the things that you want to do. And that all comes from hard work. It all comes from going out and creating an economy, creating a lifestyle that isn't sitting in your home doing nothing. And we all sit around with these phones in our hands. And now the phones pop up gaming apps where you sit there and you go, oh, it says you can win some credits. You can win some credits. Next time you can convert the credits to cash. And then you start converting the credits to cash. Next thing you know, to get some more credits, you got to put in $10. The grind is what the casinos live off of. the ability to get you to sin just a little bit. It's sort of like the state of Mississippi lives off the sins that it creates for these taxes. It's a little bit here. We get a little bit here on alcohol. We get a little bit here on gambling. We get a little bit here off of lottery. We get a little bit here off of the casino. I mean, it's always something. And they get a little bit more on any tax you have. Cigarette tax. Oh, yeah, we get some money off of that. Oh, we killed cigarettes. We sued the hell out of them. Oh, we'll just go ahead and pass pot. We'll get pot in place and we'll get pot money. Well, there's not enough people paying the pot bill because it's medical marijuana. So, y'all, it's coming. It's coming. They'll make recreational marijuana the big thing in Mississippi. And that will be the cash windfall that'll save us all to where we can all live a great, safe life. Meanwhile, nobody's doing anything. Why don't they tax bullets in Jackson? I mean, the situation is we're dying for your sins. Yes. Your sin taxes are creating the problem. Your sin taxes constantly create the problem. I am the first person that will be out there sinning. I do everything that everybody else does. None of us do not sin. But to run the government based on sin, that's why we're in the problems that we're having today. We'll be back with more right here on the Chip Matthews Show on WY8B. That's why we're in the problems that we're having today. We'll be back with more.
Keep it tuned here to 103.9 WYAB.
Acme Pizza and Daiquiris is leveling up. A whole new Acme Pizza and Daiquiris is now open at the Reservoir at Beethoven's Boardwalk in Ridgeland, right next door to Cock of the Walk. And the new Acme Pizza and Daiquiris will have all of your old favorites too, like the Acme Dynamite Balls and Garlic Knots, and the best specialty pizzas ever, like the Pig, the Sergeant Pepperoni, the Surf and Turf, and lots more. Come to the all-new Acme Pizza and Daiquiris location on the Res in Ridgeland, next door to Cock of the Walk.
Every night, thousands of Mississippians gather around the radio to follow the hottest team in baseball, the Atlanta Braves. And the voice leading the way? Madison's own Ben Ingram. Local roots, a winning team. If your business wants to connect with loyal, engaged listeners all season long, there's still time to become a Braves broadcast sponsor on WYAB. To learn more, email info@wyab.com. It costs a lot less than you think. That's info@wyab.com.
This is Demario Davis from the New Orleans Saints. As a Brandon, Mississippi native, I've seen the positive effects Mercy House Adult and Teen Challenge has across the state. Help us restore broken families and fight against addiction by donating an unneeded vehicle, even if it doesn't run. Mercy House will pick it up for you. All paperwork is handled and you receive a tax deduction. Call 601-572-7296 or visit vehicledonationsms.com.
Thank you for helping us get our daddies back.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. The vice president touting progress in talks with Iran.
That is a major milestone.
Vice President J.D. Vance, who led the talks over the weekend, says he got a big concession out of Iran, that they will now allow international nuclear inspectors into the country.
Permanently ending a nuclear weapons program in Iran.
But that promise of nuclear inspectors was the same promise made under President Obama's deal that Trump tore up. And despite Vance's words, Iranian state media reports Iran has made no new nuclear commitments.
ABC's Mary Bruce. Iran this morning says no visits have been scheduled yet for international inspectors. A deadly heat wave is blanketing much of Europe. At least 18 people have died so far in France. Voters hit the polls in 4 more states for primaries today: New York, Utah, South Carolina, and Maryland. Prime Day's back. Amazon's summer shopping event underway now, expected to generate $26 billion in sales. This is ABC.
Come on down to Ascension. Come on in. Sunday worship 10 a.m. Amen. Jackson, Mississippi will sing with you. Pastor Christine sharing good news. Come on down to Ascension. Join the choir. Feel God's love lifting you higher. Ascension Lutheran Church, we're saving you a few.
El Potrillo, hear that call? Best Mexican food of all. Hot and fresh, that's what you get.
Every plate you won't forget. El Potrillo, vámonos. Best Mexican food around, you know. El Potrillo, come on through. Hot, fresh, delicious for you. El Potrillo Mexican Restaurant.
El Potrillo Mexican Restaurant, located in Flowood and Brandon.
Acme Pizza and Daiquiris is leveling up. A whole new Acme Pizza and Daiquiris is now open at the Reservoir at Beethoven's Boardwalk in Ridgeland, right next door to Cock of the Walk. And the new Acme Pizza and Daiquiris will have all of your old favorites too, like the Acme Dynamite Balls and Garlic Knots, and the best specialty pizzas ever, like the Pig, the Sergeant Pepperoni, the Surf and Turf, and lots more. Come to the all-new Acme Pizza and Daiquiris location on the Res in Ridgeland, next door to Cock of the Walk.
Welcome back to the Chip Matthews Show, and here is your host, Chip Matthews.
Yes, it is the Chip Matthews Show, heard round the world and all over your neighborhood. And good morning to you, Donna Yowell. I see you on the air. And then, look, I got a phone call. Let's see what's going on. WYAB. Hello?
Chip Matthews.
Oh, my God. I can't do you today. Can't do it. Can't do it today. Sorry. Can't do it. This is not the call me every day program to just start talking. Just because you get your own radio show. Get your own radio show. But anyway, I can't do it. But I mean, the thing here is that I'm trying to explain to y'all is the Democrats out there in this world, or the Democrats, and the Republicans, rhinos that are out there, are doing everything in the world to make your life completely awful. Let's go to the phone. Let's go ahead. Let's go see what he's got. Good morning. Go again. Yeah.
Chip Matthews.
Go ahead. Talk. Get to your point.
Okay. Watch your mouth now.
I'm fixing to cut you off. Don't tell me what to do.
You said, yesterday, you said that I sent you a video of a pastor saying...
Never mind. Never mind. I ain't got time to listen to that about history. History? You work with a group of people that all you want to do is live off the taxes of the state. You feel like the government owes you something. You feel like just because a pastor told people that I shouldn't vote. Yeah, you sent me that video. You sent me the audio of it. You sent me all that. Don't act like you didn't. You know, you're just trying to correct yourself in your community with your people because they don't want you. You want to be a step and fetch it for them in the future when you run for office. That's exactly what that is. But anyway, 6:37 in the morning, and you know, it's just old. It just gets old to rehash a story like that. I mean, I'm tired of it. Okay, y'all. So let's talk about some of the other things going on in the world besides all the sin taxes and all the things that the government are trying to take out of your pocket and this, that, and the other. And then you look at the airport authority and the trial that is taking place on our dollar. Lawyers on both sides are getting paid for us to have a trial over who should be running the airport. Now, I'll tell you who runs the airport. The fees, the money that we pay run the airport. Okay. Federal government sends money in to help them keep it up to where it's a safe place to land and this, that, and the other. There's an Air Force base out there that National Guard thing that does what it's supposed to do. But for you to go on TV and say that you were running the airport, Jackson has been running the airport for years, right? Okay. That we'll all agree on. It's always been the Jackson airport. Now, the reality is this. There's no way, and it is just wrong for this board member to go on the TV and say this. There's no way to believe that if you're running things, you had a segregated parking lot to where you're trying to create a race war, a race situation that does not exist. You're trying to say that there was black parking and then there was white parking. Then you want to say there was a board that you were on. You said you showed up and there's a sign up real high that says slave on it. I mean, come on. What kind of fool? And then they put that all over the news on every TV station in town to try to show a division that occurs that does not occur. And this is all about fighting over who's going to spend the money that we spend at the airport to run the airport. We spend the money. We're the ones that are charged the fees. We're the ones that when you park in long-term parking, it costs you a fortune. You know that the segregation occurs over the covered and the uncovered parking, whether you can afford to do it. And that's all based on if you have a job. And if you don't have a job, then your job better be paying for you to park in that covered parking or long-term parking. I mean, y'all, you can fly to, I flew to Washington once for $85 round trip on Southwest, but I paid more than that for my parking the whole time I was there. Y'all want to talk about the control of money in this state is unreal. Now, I will tell you this, it doesn't matter who runs the airport. The airport needs to be run. The government's running it, but we pay for it. And all we're talking about is who's going to appoint the board. Simply appoint the damn board. The state should be have a say in it and federal government should have a say in it because they provide the money to run the airport from the fees in which they charge. So there is no Jackson should run the airport. Jackson, you did a hell of a job of running the water. That's why you should run the airport. Well, you have no leg to stand on why you should be running anything in the city of Jackson. And Democrats, you need to keep your hands off of everything because you don't show that you know how to manage money any better. Same for Republicans. The rhinos can't afford it. I saw where Delbert was trying to get some aid up to Grenada for some things online. He said, "Oh, we got $100,000 to start that thing up there." And it's for a good cause, but it's not really for a good cause because all we do is we keep setting up more government agencies to give out more government aid, which comes from our tax dollars that come out of our pockets. I am tired of everybody wanting our tax dollars. Then you turn around and you're going into the 4th of July weekend, and to make everybody's life better, the balloon glowing cantons moved to a week before the whole thing. And I understand that. I understand moving some things where some people can have the holiday off. But the whole idea of the holiday, especially a government holiday, these government holidays where we celebrate the United States of America forming and getting together, why should you be off on the holiday? If that's the main goal there is to where you and your family can enjoy the holiday, you work for the government. And the government doesn't sleep. You don't see firemen taking off for the holidays, do you? You don't see policemen taking off for the holidays, do you? But judges and lawyers and all them will take off. Y'all the worker bees, y'all go do everything. It's just dead wrong the way we look at things in America. I mean, you just had a federal holiday where we had to go without banks being open and inconvenience our life just because somebody wanted to worry about Juneteenth, a holiday that they created that doesn't mean anything. It doesn't really mean anything on the national level. It's part of a division to keep the blacks away from the whites. It's a part of the division to where we will have an argument. The government sets up things to keep us divided because divided, we cannot fix anything. There will always be Democrats, there'll always be Republicans, there'll always be rich people, there'll always be poor people. The one thing that we do have among us, you have those of us that are taxed and those of us who get the tax money. That's another division we have, where if we shrunk the government and we shrunk it all down, we'd all be on a level playing field. People that need aid, people that need help, people that need social services, you go out and help them. It's like your family member. You'll have a brother or a cousin or an uncle or an aunt, and you'll loan them some money and to help them out when something bad happens. So you loan them some money. Then at some point you quit handing them that money, right? Because why? Because that's all it is. It becomes a deep hole. I have some friends that you constantly say, if they'll just ask for $100, I'll be glad to give them $100 because they'll go away and I won't see them for months and they won't be up here bothering me every 5 minutes. These are realities in life. These are things that are occurring in your life. And it doesn't make any sense that we sit here and live with it. Meanwhile, we have politicians that we don't give a damn about that are in office, and we don't do anything about it because we don't put anybody on the ballot to run against them. And we let them do what they want to do. and they run ramshot over our lives. They take whatever they want. They start a new tax. They started, we're going to do a tax on this. We'll do a tax on that. Well, we're going to let people leave. We're going to let people leave the government. We're going to let people go to jail, and we're going to make sure that they get out. They don't do 100% of the time. You get 20 years, but you only do 60% of the time. What does that mean? 30% of the time. Why do we do that? Why do you only do part of the time when you do the crime? Why have a 20-year sentence and you only have to do 30% of it? Why is there a mathematical equation on time? There's not a mathematical equation on my money. Every time I make $1, you want money out of that dollar. And then when I spend that dollar, you want money out of that dollar. So, my money and my time is okay with you. But the guy that becomes a burden to society, the guy that makes it harder on us in life, the guys that go to jail, when we put them in jail, that's it. If you get life, kill them. I mean, death penalty is there for a reason. These people that are a burden to us, and I know we should help what we can help, but when the help don't want to be helped, it's time to do something else. And I mean, we got families that are going out killing 70-year-olds. People that those people in Simpson County that were murdered, that were 72 and 73 years old, murdered by a family of kids, a house that raised 3 kids that are nothing but murderers. And they go out and they violently kill somebody who's made it to 70. Do you know how hard it is to make it to 70 and have a good life? All the trials and tribulations you go through to make it to 70, to be gunned down by some thugs that should be in jail, and probably not the first time they killed. The whole family may have killed. I don't know. But I mean, what do we do to save ourselves? What do we do to make our life better for everybody? Why don't we do anything about anything, any problems that we have? Why do we let the government do whatever they want to us? We don't vote, so we don't fix the problem. The government loves the fact that we don't care. The government loves the fact that they can run right over us and do whatever they want to because we don't care. We don't vote. 17% of us showed up in the Republican and Democratic primaries. That's both sides, Republican and Democrat. Showed up. 17% cared about who we were going to put on the ballot in the fall. And then the Republicans, they haven't done anything to help the Ron Eller situation to where he's moving forward in the polls. He's not. They don't want to redistrict. But if they would help Ron Eller against Benny Thompson would be out of office. But they don't want Benny Thompson out of office. Benny Thompson provides too many dollars to the state of Mississippi, and everybody says we need them, but nothing. When we get them, does your life improve? Does anything in your block, just in your block, in your world that you move around in, does anything improve in your area based on us getting more money into the state? Now, you may have friends and politician friends that are doing extremely well, but inside your circle, has anything improved? We'll be back with more right here on the Chip Matthews Show on WYAB. Has anything improved? We'll be back with more right here on the Chip Matthews Show.
1039 WYAB.
In the heart of rural America, we know the value of an honest day's work. While the big corporate brands focus on their stock prices, Outlaw Light is focused on you. We're an independent American brand built on resilience. We don't preach or teach, we just brew. That means a high-quality, 105-calorie light beer at a price that respects your hard-earned dollar. For the patriots, the dreamers, and the doers, America deserves a new light beer. Grab an Outlaw. It's darn good beer.
Bad decisions limit future options. Make enough bad decisions, and you will destroy your life. Listen to The Flatline with your host, Rick Hughes, every Sunday morning at 8:30 a.m. here on 1039 WYAB. Join us every Sunday for 30 minutes of inspiration, motivation, education, all without manipulation. That's The Flatline with Rick Hughes, heard here on 1039 WYAB each Sunday morning at 8:30 a.m.
Greetings. I'm Dr. Benny Tate, president of the Congregational Methodist Church denomination in Florence, Mississippi, and the pastor of Rock Springs Church in Milner, Georgia, inviting you to attend one of our services this week. Find a church near you at cm-church.org and be sure and listen for our weekly program, Apples of Gold from Rock Springs Church, here on 103.9 WYAB.
Listen to Apples of Gold every Sunday morning at 10.
Here is what real customers have to say about Roeder's Plumbing Service.
This is Leah. I wanted to tell people what a wonderful job Roeder's Plumber did for me recently. I called, Chris Roeder answered the phone. He had somebody out in no time. They fixed me real fast. I couldn't believe they came out here like that. That's all I can say.
Plumbing problems? You need Roeder's Plumbing. Visit roedersplumbing.com today.
All Britain's Jewelers.
When love requires a gift, nothing says it better than All Britons. Since 1920, we've been part of your family. From weddings and anniversaries to holidays, we've been there for every special occasion. At All Britons, we value your trust. Every gift, whether large or small, is a reflection of our commitment to quality and excellence. There's a reason we're still Mississippi's foremost diamond merchant. Let us show you why. All Britons Jewelry, 4460 Old Canton Road in Jackson.
All Britain's Jewelers.
Upgrade your yard this season with Hometown Hardware and Grasshopper. Hometown Hardware in Flora is now a proud Grasshopper mower dealer. Own a Grasshopper, own Mow Day. Hometown Hardware also has a great selection of outdoor power equipment from trusted names like Steel and Milwaukee, as well as Hustler. And don't forget, Hometown Hardware is your garden soil, potting mix, fertilizer, and pine straw headquarters. Hometown Hardware on Highway 49 in Flora.
At Flora Animal Hospital, our team doesn't just take care of your pet's needs. We feel like it starts with the pet parents. If the pet parent is informed thoroughly and understands the situation with the animal and why certain things need to be done or certain medications need to be given, it's easier to get that done. Our website is floraanimalhospital.com. It'll take you straight to the online store where your medicine can be purchased, food can be purchased, prescription or non-prescription, and they will be shipped straight to your front door. floraanimalhospital.com.
Managing payroll, benefits, workers' comp, and HR tasks can take valuable time away from running your business. That's where People Lease comes in. From payroll processing and tax filing to employee benefits and retirement plan administration, People Lease helps simplify your back office operations while improving employee satisfaction. Spend less time on paperwork and more time growing your business. Schedule your consultation today at peoplelease.com. That's peoplelease.com.
Welcome back to the Chip Matthews Show, and here is your host, Chip Matthews.
It is the Chip Matthews Show, heard around the world and all over the place, and even in your living room or in your car, wherever you are. You're listening to the sound of my voice, Chip Matthews, right here on WYAB. Phone's ringing off the hook. I'm sorry, we're up against the clock, so we won't be answering that right now, so I'm sorry about that. But, y'all, it's going to be a pretty day. It's going to be overcast. It's going to be a little warm. And what we learned from living in Mississippi over the years is violent crime gets worse when people get hot. They get hot. They quick on the trigger. There'll be more crime, more people. Jackson during the summer months gets to where they can get more killing in. And it's happening all over the state now because, I mean, as we look at the thing, we had 10 killed in Belzona. We had 3 arrested in a fatal shooting in Claiborne County. You had drive-by shooting on Sharp Street. You had a mother who stomped her 2-year-old daughter to death in Florida. I mean, it's because it's hot, you know. That's the excuse. And they're saying global warming. That'll be what they'll say. The people will say global warming is why all this is occurring. Yeah, it's not any hotter now than it was ever. It's always been hot. It feels hotter when the humidity and when the rain's falling out of the sky. You know, as we see the evolution of the earth has been this is a living rock that we live on. We're all just parasites and amoebas. Got some people that are doing things, but the parasites, that would be Democrats, are the ones that are living out there on government aid, sucking off of those that are out there providing the things that go in the world to make things happen. The politicians are the parasites that take the tax dollars out of your pocket so that they can fund their other programs to keep the other side working. And when I say the other side working, I mean not working. We're living a socialism government here that's been provided by Benny Thompson, that if you can give your whole soul to Benny Thompson, you can have a house, you can have a car, you can have a government phone, you can have food on your table. Meanwhile, everybody else that works, when you don't have money for food on the table, you don't eat. I mean, what's it going to take for politicians to start realizing what they're doing to us? They're running the government off of sin taxes, as many sin taxes as they can have. Meanwhile, they're still taxing us for your house and your property. They tax you for everything you do. They tax you for going to work. You go to work, you have to pay taxes for working, for having a job. We pay taxes for everything we do. If you're a person trying to do the right thing in America, you get paid, you get taxed to death. And there's nothing wrong with being in America. There's nothing wrong with paying a little taxes. But damn it, y'all, can you do something better with our money than just give it away? Oh, help our other brothers. Help our other people. They have nothing. Get off your lazy ass and do something. Get off your butt and go to work. Get a job. There are plenty of jobs out there, and they're paying well. I see it every day. And I talk to people in the restaurant industry. I got everybody go, I don't want to be in the restaurant industry, blah, blah, blah. Well, some of you, that's what you need to be doing. Because, once you learn and work and put money in your pocket and you feel good about yourself because you make your own money, then you'll start getting out and voting, because you'll look at these people going, I'd like to keep more of my money in my pocket. And these taxes they keep putting on us are driving me crazy. So I got to get rid of that politician. But those politicians are making so much money. They're funding their retirement. They're funding their lifestyle. They're funding their future. And they're doing it legally because they're in office. We got to get out and get more people running for office and doing the right thing. It's just pathetic. A family can get taxed when we die. That's right. Fred Cerami, you're correct. There's a death tax. You can't die. Don't die. And then, of course, if you're so far, if you can get caught in a bubble to where if you get ill, the government's going to own your home. They'll take care of you. You love. But we're going to own your home when you go. It's a 6-year window before you check out of this world. So if you're going to have to work the rest of your life, there is no reason to retire. There is no reason to think there's going to be some life of leisure at some point. There is, because you have to pay. You working class people have to work to pay for all the non-working class people. Yeah, you're paying for Democrats. You're paying for people that want to sit on their butt and be lazy. Just like if you have a family member that you loan $100 to, and then the next month you owe them another $100. Sooner or later, you quit giving them $100, right? That's the same way the government should be treating people. That's going to do it for me, Chip Matthews. I will see y'all. Y'all come out and have a dinner, have lunch with us here at Beethoven's on the Reservoir. Today it's pork chops and chicken and dumplings. Come see us. Okay. Also, remember this weekend, we're getting ready to celebrate the 4th of July this weekend, because our government can't keep up with when the holidays are. And we'll have a balloon glow and fireworks out on the reservoir this Friday night. Yeah. Come on out and see us. The Clay Edwards Show is next right here on WYAB.